Hello, hello, welcome. I'm back somehow. I finished Project Hail Mary with the book club, and we just had our discussion last night. And I've just been ruminating. Did I like the book? Did I not like the book at all? I also watched the movie right after finishing the book. And yeah, I just have so many thoughts. I've dumped them all in a Google Doc, and I thought, let's just ramble a bit. So, is it overhyped? Spoiler, I think it is. One of the big things here is that the novel can be broken into sort of three components. And one of them, the biggest component, would be the science itself. For like 99% of the book, I was on board with it. I'm not in any way a scientist myself. Funny, I have a bachelor's of science. Although I have seen general praise from actual astrophysicists and biologists who are commenting on certainly the movie's presentation of the science, and they say it's well done and that it would be feasible theoretically if we had the technological means that are presented in the book or the movie. So I'm not going to comment or critique that because, like I said, the science is not something that really bothered me. Only real moment with the science was when the scientists are bringing up the methane gas part in Antarctica. I know this is such a little nitpicky thing, but there was like a dialogue exchange between Dr. Grace and some other scientists. In Antarctica, there's lots of methane trapped under the ice because Antarctica used to be a jungle, blah blah blah. And I'm just reading this dialogue like he knows that, like he obviously knows that. Even I know this because of my bachelor's. And why would two scientists be talking to each other like that? And this sort of struck a chord with me where I realized that a lot of the dialogue in this book is kind of just information wearing a costume. It's really a lot of info dumping through dialogue, which I detest. I just think it's bad writing. It is not how you should be writing your stories. I'm sorry. Even though there is that amnesia aspect to the narrative where our protagonist just doesn't remember much, so we need to get flashbacks. But not all of the flashbacks need to be dialogues. And I just find info dumping in dialogue is an easy way out. The craft stuff, though, isn't even my biggest issue with the book. My actual problem is that Weir was so focused on the science and the research behind it that I find he completely disregarded the two other important components of the novel, which is the sociological side of the story and the linguistic side of the story. The sociological side, maybe it's not that big for some people, but I found like how the hell are we getting like every major government on board to fund this project Hail Mary? Like society just doesn't work like this. Maybe Andy Weir is a bit more optimistic than me. I am a bit of a cynic, but I just found this is an unrealistic presentation of how humans would or would not work together. Then there's the linguistic side of things. This completely took me out of the narrative. And for a large part of Rocky and Grace's relationship, I just found I was not on board. I just could not enjoy it the way I wanted to. I will say, Rocky was a great character. I really appreciated the cuteness of their exchanges, especially in the movie. I thought he has a very cutesy demeanor. I could believe potentially that an alien species having first contact would use maybe pointing the way that Rocky and Dr. Grace were initially communicating through like gestures and pointing. But the abstract concepts, even something as abstract as like good, like thumbs up good, how would Rocky know what good is? And then the grammar stuff of it all. I'm sorry, like there's no way this robot is utilizing like our grammar and also like multiple verb endings like we all, as if I'm involved in these projects, like scientists have for a long time now, put forth the idea that animals also have language in a similar way that we do, but trying to prove that and then having an inter species communication is, it's just decades. And then fucking Dr. Ryland just cracks it on a week with an Excel spreadsheet. That was just so easy and it was infuriating to me. I just could not get past it. So Sorry. Like, again, I will emphasize Rocky, cute. Amaze, 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 very cute. But it's just so unrealistic that I could not get through that part. And then there's Grace himself. I will say I have gotten a more positive perspective on him now that I've let the book kind of cook and ruminate in my mind, but it took me a little bit to get into the story because he's written as like this cool guy nerd, but like I'm just some regular guy, but I'm also a molecular biologist, a fucking amazing mathematician, and now seemingly an astronaut. He's this everyman genius, so it's, like, such a contradiction, but watching the movie made me like him more because Ryan Gosling really embodies this contradiction quite well, like, somehow he was able to make Dr. Grace quite likable. I thought the sarcasm landed very well, and it just clicked. I got it immediately. So, having watched the movie, I think made me reflect again on the book and be like, "Okay, the character wasn't as annoying as I initially perceived him, he actually was quite likable. But yeah, I guess that was thanks to Ryan Gosling, pulling that off. So, yeah, that is my large rant. I found the science is genuinely impressive. I just wish it hadn't come at the expense of everything else. So, yeah, let me know if you felt the same. And have a nice rest of your week. Bye.